What's going on, guys? It's Josh from Legendary Life, and I wanted to make a quick video about what I'm seeing in terms of the rise of quote-unquote WorkSlop and what actually is going to become a very significant factor and issue going into, I think, the next 20 or so years in the upcoming and current generations in the realms of lifestyle, business, interpersonal communication, and so on. Now, what WorkSlop is any communication or idea or body of work that has an upfront surface of being polished and refined, but is internally hollow and actually devoid of substance, often to a convincing degree. I've seen this a lot working in the tech background, corporately. I've seen this as a marketer. I've seen this in interpersonal communication, doing different types of coaching and also different networking capacities that I've been in. A lot of times on the work level, especially with the rise of generative AI, you're seeing people who are taking basically word vomit or word salad, throwing it into AI, or maybe just internally in their mind, they're filtering it through a bunch of things that they've heard recently in YouTube videos or in Instagram Reels or in something else. And instead of conveying what is authentic to them and what is actually the result of concentration and attention and consciousness, they are instead just producing something that has been reformed through a over-processing machine and is now something that seems like it is made with intent and with substance, but is actually internally hollow. A good example of this in a workplace setting is, say you have a report to build out, you procrastinate it, you wait until the last couple of days, and then you go, crap, I need to do this report. I'm gonna take what little I know, throw it in ChatGPT and try to make it into something that is workable. I think this also happens a lot in the current education system as well. Pretty much every student I know cheats. And the result of that is you turn in your paper or you turn in your report to your boss or you do whatever. And when it comes to them, it looks very refined because it's gone through that polish of generative AI, of ChatGPT, of whatever you're using. And on the surface, it looks passable, so it's accepted. Only for a couple months down the road, maybe even your boss or someone else that is in charge or responsible over that data or that product of work notices the points where it's lacking, and then it results in a fire down the road. But the thing is because that's happened, no one's really able to pinpoint exactly where anything went wrong because of that appearance of polish, and it creates a very insidious problem inside of a lot of corporate settings that I've noticed. Inside of communication, I've also noticed this as well. I don't think it's as much an AI with interpersonal communication, although we'll probably get there. I think it's more just the fact that, most people are getting a massive amount of information through short form content and through hyper processed video content through YouTube or through TikTok and Instagram or through other things. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, in my view, obviously. But what it results in is people over relying on things that other people have said or ways that other people have articulated a certain idea or a certain way of thinking. And as a result of that, people are actually coming to opinions and beliefs that they feel very strongly about, but if you ask them to articulate them fully, they don't necessarily even know how to articulate their own very strongly held beliefs. And what I think this means for us moving forward, and this is something that we're really passionate about at Legendary as we are producing content and we're sharing value with our audience, is we try really hard to make sure that what we articulate and that what we share is the result of true, genuine process and polish from the human mind, something that a lot of intentional thinking has gone into, intentional curation. And a lot of people think that can be replaced by AI, but we're actually finding out through a lot of these different studies that are being done on this WorkSlop phenomena is not the case. So what I would encourage you to do, if you're watching this, is one, invest some time into being articulate with your own ideas. Try to balance the amount of input of information you're getting with proper output of communication. And what I mean by that is, if you read, say, an article, or maybe you watch a really insightful YouTube video, instead of just moving along and basically treating that piece of information you got as junk food, try to sit down and maybe write out in handwriting takeaways that you've gotten without the help of ChatGPT. Or maybe if you have a certain idea or something that you're trying to put together, instead of doing what many of us do and just take that word salad, throw it in the ChatGPT and try to get it to structure it well for you. While there is value in that in terms of utility, if it's coming at the cost of you not being able to formulate those ideas on your own, you're going to be at a massive disadvantage in the upcoming economy, because people who are going to advance and get ahead are going to be the kind of people who are in person able to articulate those thoughts in a very polished way that is reflective of the amount of time that they spent thinking about it. There's a reason why world leaders in 20 years are still going to be flying tens of thousands of miles to meet with each other in person to talk about the world's most important issues, rather than ChatGPTing their ideas through an email. The reason why is because as advanced as generative AI is going to get, it still is going to fall short of what the human mind is capable of doing when it is processing information in a way that results in good articulation. And that's why I think coming up in the future, part of what we're passionate about at Legendary, and also what I highly encourage everyone in my network to do, everyone who follows me to do, is get very good at learning how to properly process and articulate the vast amount of information that we're taking in as a society through social media, through YouTube, through Instagram and TikTok, through all these different platforms. Because if you're able to do that, that will put you in the top 1%, and it'll be what separates people who are mediocre from people who excel and are able to perform at the highest levels. So I wanted to share that with you. Quick little video here. This has been Josh with Legendary Life. Catch you on the next video.